Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Family Campfire. This is Utah Redneck Nichols coming with you, coming to you on Thursday evening for I believe it's our ninth one so far, which is just amazing to me. I'm having a blast doing these, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them. Tonight we have the great JMO and the one and only Al Fu as our panel members that are going to be asking Matt Pfeil questions. Matt has been detecting for quite a while now. He's an amazing detectorist, great guy, awesome ambassador to the community and the hobby. Um, he does go overseas detecting, so he is an international detectorist, and it's a pleasure and an honor to have you on here, Matt.
Well, thank you.
Um, Before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout out to our brother in the community, Drew Brigham, or Super Drew. He went to the hospital yesterday with chest pains. Last anyone has heard really has been that he was waiting on test results and being kept overnight for observation. We're waiting for more updates, but if everybody could keep him in your prayers and thoughts, it would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'm going to let JMO start off with questions, and we'll get this underway. So, JMO, the floor is yours. Have fun.
All right, great. Hey, Matt, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, good. I've been forewarned about this interview with you, and I've come up with some questions just in the past 10 minutes. So hopefully they're all right. First off, I've heard it said three different ways. How do you pronounce your last name?
Ramirez.
Got it. So the P is silent.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's actually pronounced file.
File. Okay. Because I've been hearing everybody say fail.
Yeah, that's a German pronunciation of it.
Clarify. All right. Menendez then. Okay, great. First question I have for you. We talked in the pre-chat before we went live and everything. We covered a few things, and one question that came to mind was, if you're on a raft with 17 doors, how many pancakes would it take to cover a doghouse if snakes had armpits?
Well, I would have to say blue because octopuses don't type.
No. I gotta Google that because I don't know the answer.
I'm
You're
telling
right.
you.
You're right. He's absolutely right. Okay, sorry. Now, we did discuss your military service. I would like to thank you for your service to our country. Appreciate that very much.
You too.
Thank you. And being in the service, and you currently go overseas quite a bit with your work, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos from a lot of other countries, mostly in Europe, but other countries as well. I've got some videos I watch out of Philippines and stuff like that. Every video I watch from other countries, if you watch more than 2 of their videos, no matter where they are in the world, somebody finds an American coin. Have you ever found an American coin in a country besides America?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Elaborate.
Elaborate. I have found a Sinkin out in the hills of Korea. One lonely little Sinkin, and it was... Why couldn't it have been something else? I mean, we were there during the Korean War. It should have been something more period. No, it was like a 1997. It was completely rotted out. I was so... on the base, coins all the time. But that doesn't count because you're now officially on U.S. soil.
On U.S. soil, right, right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we had hiked... It was probably a good 8 kilometers up a hillside, and I just had this. That's weird. That's an 82. The Deus 82 is normally a zinc penny, and
yeah,
that's what it was.
Great. Great. Well, that leads me into my next question. You just mentioned the machine you use. What is your typical setup when you go out detecting? Not so much in your hometown, but when you're out in Korea doing your weekly duties over there, and you get to go out in the countryside. What is your get up? What's your everyday carry out there?
Well, it's hard to bring certain things into the country, so I have my dais. I use a macro pinpointer or a White's TRX pinpointer. Depends on which one I decide to throw in the bag before I go over. And for digging, I use a 12-inch flat bar.
Really?
Yeah, because you end up prying apart more rocks than anything else.
Oh,
And
okay.
nice little, you have a pick on one end, and then you have a pry bar on the other, so it works really good over there.
So it's really rocky.
And the last time I tried to bring a Leshy into the country, yeah, they didn't like that at the airport at all. It was fun. I had a guy going, "You don't kill people with this, do you?" I'm like, no. You see the detector.
Did you get the Korean body cavity search?
They have small fingers. It's nice. No, it wasn't that bad. The funny part was the trip prior to that. I have a military grade Benchmade knife. Press button, pops open, no assist whatsoever. So it's a fell in your pocket. I used that at work, and I had it in my rain jacket. And at the last minute, back in my bags, let me throw my rain jacket in my suitcase. Everything will be good because it can be in the middle of August. It's going to rain in Korea. It will rain. So I'm going through customs, and this time I had 2 Leshies in there. They didn't bat an eye at that because I was bringing one for my friend over there. And up on the X-ray, he says, "You have a knife in your bag." Knife? Is it the Leshy? All right, so we open it up, and I take that Gore-Tex out and throw it on the stainless steel counter, and I hear that kabang. Yeah, there's my Benchmade auto-opening felony waiting to happen knife, and just shaking my head. I said, "Yeah, I didn't know I had that in there." "You didn't know you had a knife in it?" No, I didn't know it was still in my pocket." So I had to pull it out. I handed it to him, and he couldn't figure out how to open it. I'm like, "Would you like me to open it for you?" So I did "Oh, yeah, okay." Turned around, handed it to him, and he said, "Yeah, that blade, it's just too big." Okay. "Do me a favor, mail it home." "Yes, sir, no problem. I don't want to lose a $300 knife."
No.
So,
Yeah, you're lucky you got to mail it home. Usually they just grab it and throw it in the bucket.
yeah, but the funny thing is it made it through TSA here. Stateside,
Right.
no problems. Got
Yeah.
to Korea, one little guy. So the next trip, that's where I ran into the inquisitive guy seeing the Leshy. And then once more, a trip after that, they wanted to look at my bags. And it was the same guy every single time. "I remember you." "Yeah, 3 months ago, you were digging through my underwear. Come on."
Awesome. So when you're stateside, what's your area of expertise as far as metal detecting goes stateside?
Area of expertise.
I mean, yeah, you a coin shooter, relic hunter, beach hunter?
I don't hit beaches too much just because of where I'm located in California. I'm in the north central valley. I hit a lot of relics. I hit a lot of coins. That's about the easiest I can say. I'm trying to get into prospecting because I am in gold country. There is gold here somewhere. I have yet to find it, but
Yeah.
that little yellow thing it's somewhere that way actually, right. The way it's facing. So
Other people have found a lot of it over there.
yeah,
And they've
the
left
biggest
some for you. I'm sure of it.
Well, there's a gentleman that I work with who knows the guy who got that 6.5-pound gold nugget.
Really?
He won't tell me the guy's name because he said, but the person that they interview is not him. That's his friend because he does not want to be known, which is understandable.
Ah, yeah.
So we have an idea where he found it. So my friend from New Jersey, who hunts with a bounty hunter, it's like one tone, it just screams at you.
Yeah.
"Hey, let's go up there and look." Well, it's a bunch of tailing piles from where they dredged out an old river bottom
Sure.
100 years ago.
Right.
They're only looking for chunks of gold about that big.
Right.
Anything bigger, went out with all the spoil.
It got out. Yeah, it got tailed out.
Well, there's 17,000 acres of that.
Wow.
So I said, yeah, let's go there. I found a flasher relay that got smashed, I think 36 cents. It was a quarter dime and a penny. Lots of shotgun shells, a dude's pair of glasses, and anything but gold I found. He found a shoe. I mean,
Just one?
yeah. I said, you get both. You could have the pair. He said, no, I only have one.
That's right. So you were in the military, right?
Yes, sir.
What branch?
United States Air Force.
How many years?
I was in for exactly 8 years. I was medically discharged, and luck for me, I was out working in the civilian world for 2.5 years, and I got hired to do the same exact thing I used to do, which is an aircraft mechanic.
That's awesome. Well, at least you didn't get the big chicken dinner.
It was close. It was close. It was close. They just needed some experience back in the program, so they pulled me back in, which was nice.
So being in the military, like everybody knows, I was also in the military. I absolutely love when I find something in the ground that I can tie into the military, no matter how old it is, whether it was, 10 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. What is your favorite, if any, military-related finds that you've gotten on your on some of your local digs, or even your overseas digs? Do you have some favorite military things you found, or that you can tie to the military?
Well, I mean, I was showing you guys in the external chat. Locally, my most favorite thing is this nice 32 millimeter anti-tank round. It's a big guy. This is about, I don't know, it's probably pushing about 5 pounds of steel here. I was telling you guys earlier the story about it. My friend from Jersey, we're hiking around up there detecting, and we got separated, and he came back, and he finally found his first 50 cal round. And he tossed it to me and said, "Hey, Matt, here you go. I got you a 50 cal round." And I said, "Oh, that's cute," and I tossed him this. And he instantly called me a one-upper. So, but that's one of the things I like when I go to Korea is there is a lot of military relics out there, especially up in the hills. A lot of fighting had happened, and over there you find a lot of. This is perfectly safe, by the way. It's inert. Well, it is now because I took the end off, cleaned it out. This is your basic, M1 Grand Rifle round that was used there that the U.S. used.
A 30-06?
30-06. This one is a misfire.
Okay.
So someone got really angry when that happened.
Yeah.
But not only do you find these, which I was trying to find it. The first trip I detected over there, I found 2 dropped rounds from the U.S. on the lower portion of a hill, and then on the upper portion, I found a spent and damaged Chinese round that the North was using.
Wow.
So, in one hand, I had an entire battle from Korean War. And I was amazed with that.
That's awesome.
But, I mean, you also find stuff from the Japanese occupation. This one here. This is well, it was found like this. My buddy found, the cartridge.
Yeah.
And a little ways away, I found the bullet. Well, let me show you the difference here. It's right here. Okay, there's the 30-06. Put it on the camera.
Yeah, a little higher. Oh, wow.
It's a lot skinnier, too.
So is that like a 30-30 almost? It's got to be smaller than that, even.
This is out of a Type 39 Japanese Ariska rifle that they used from World War I to World War II, which is the time period that Japan was still in Korea, and they finally gave Korea back to the people when they lost World War II.
No kidding.
So that was crazy thing. These are on the same hilltop.
Wow.
Same exact hilltop.
Wow.
And the same hilltop, which I showed Utah earlier was this guy. This is a spoon and a fuse.
Oh, off a grenade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I found this. I said, this is coming home. I have to figure out how to do it without having to use my body cavities.
Right.
This went home in a nice, if it fits, it ships box.
Those threads will make you itch.
Yeah, and they tickle.
Right.
But this was up there.
Wow.
However, I mean, it's got the nice blue band, which we discussed in our
Yeah.
practice grenade. And
Right.
somehow the rest of it either disappeared, maybe the Korean guy that was playing with it decided to keep the body, who knows, it wasn't around.
Yeah, sometimes those would just smoke.
Yeah. So I found this guy. It's all the same hill, mind you.
Wow.
About 10 yards from this, and this is probably one of the best things I have ever found in Korea, is this.
Is that a spearhead?
This is an arrowhead off of a washa, or a Korean rocket arrow used from 1300s to 1800s.
Rocket?
Rocket-propelled arrow. They used to fire these off in the thousands.
Wow.
At the Korean War Museum in Seoul, they have lots of these on display. And what's going through my mind the entire time is I'm finding all this in the same spot.
Right.
It's one important hill.
A very important hill.
Yeah.
So I really, really get into the. I mean, we're talking military. That's about the oldest military item I can find.
That that reminds me of a flechette out of a cluster bomb.
Yeah. When I got that one, I felt bad because the guy I hunt with over in Korea, he's been detecting out there for over 30 years, and I found that, and I knew that he didn't have one, so I put it in my pocket, and he came back with a cartridge and an old pipe bowl, and he said, "Yeah, that's all I found over here. What'd you find?" I said, "Oh, I got this fuse off a grenade. I got the spoon. I got all these cartridges." Oh, and hold out your hand, and I mean, this is what it looked like when I pulled it out of the ground.
Oh, wow.
And what it looks like now is, I mean, it's probably easier to see it rather than holding it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was after 2 hours of electrolysis just to clean it.
Nice.
All that rust just fell right off.
Nice.
And so now I still keep getting emails from them saying, "So when are we going to get me an arrowhead?" Well, I said, "You think about it. They were shooting these off in the thousands. We go back that same hill. We poke around on that side of that hill. We're going to find a lot more."
Yeah, you got to start digging your iffy signals.
Yeah, I said, you touch iron, dig it.
Because
That's
I bet
that's
that
a-
arrowhead didn't ring up very good.
What's that?
I bet that arrowhead didn't ring up very good.
Oh, no, it was just straight grunt. But when I go to places like Korea, if I'm hiking, 6-8 miles out in the foothills out here, I don't care what the tone is. I'm digging it.
Right.
Need everything.
Because first of all, I've had to go all the way out there. I'm coming back with anything. If it's a piece of barbed wire, if it's a gold bar, I don't care. I need something to show for being out there for as long as I was. So
Yeah. Yep. I agree. That's awesome. We do have one relayed message from Utah out of the external chat. Our friend Danny, Mr. Crabinet, says, "Thank you for the coins, Matt."
Oh, you're welcome, Danny. Glad you got them. I saw the message. Just glad that you got them, man.
Danny's a good guy. I love that guy. All right, well, I'm just about out of questions. I'm going to turn this back over to Utah. He can do some more of his stuff and relay it back over to Al and whatever needs to be done. Thanks for answering all my my well thought out and rehearsed questions there, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome. It's great
Utah,
talking.
back to you.
That is awesome stuff, man. I love that rocket arrowhead. That is just amazing. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Al. Let him ask what questions he has that hasn't been answered, and let y'all chat for a little bit, and I'll pick up the tail end if there's any left.
Sounds like a plan. How's it going, Matt Fu?
Oh, pretty good, Al.
Cool, man. I know you do a lot of park hunting. What's your normal setup on your dais?
A dais, I actually running Gmax. I put iron volume at 2. I dropped my sensitivity down to about 80, and just for ground balance tracking. Pretty simple setup. I don't really have to mess with it too much here. I could probably set my ground balance to 85, but now we're getting rid of it.
That was leading to my next question. How was the ground conditions there? Highly mineralized, or is it pretty easy for your machine?
Most of the parks here are all backfill, so it's old farmland, old farm dirt.
Gotcha.
So it's not really too much mineralization,
right?
Kind of, because out here it's a lot of river silt, but you do get your spots where rather than mineralization, you have a lot of electrical noise. I could probably set my ground balance to 85, but now we're getting rid of it.
That was leading to my next question. How was the ground condition?
What's that?
Somebody cut in on us, I think, there.
Sorry, no, I signed on to YouTube, and I was just relaying the delay. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. All right, next is beaches. I know you have some freshwater beaches around you, but I never see you do any kind of beach hunting. Why don't you do any?
They're always very disappointing. Every single time I have gone to any of the river beaches here,
right,
there's nothing. It's just all garbage. Our rivers are basically on a 10-15 year extreme flooding cycle, and anything that's really good is about 10-20 feet below all the silt. Everything else that's there is, I mean, was it Tuesday this week? I did go to one of the river beaches after work, and I think I got 28 cents and about 4 million bottle caps.
Wow.
So it makes for a really frustrating hunt. It makes for a really just nothing that's that you really want to tape, because it would bore everybody. It's like, yep, hey, it's another Budweiser cap. Hey, look, that's a Pacifico.
Right. Recently, on my Facebook group, you had won a rock tumbler. Have you had a chance to try that out yet?
I have not tried it out yet. I plan on using it at some point. But the gentleman, because Mr. Al here, he has a contest for Story of the Week, and I was really lucky to win that time for the rock tumbler, which was really nice. But my thoughts are actually passing that rock tumbler on to my friend in Korea, because
really?
he has never used one for cleaning coins or anything.
Oh, that's excellent.
But now I have to figure out how to get it to him, because he can't accept anything over 1 pound in the mail. And
wow.
So that was my plans with it. I was thinking about it. Because I have a little lore tone down here. It's a 3-pounder that I use for cleaning my clad.
Yep.
So I've done that before, which I've shown videos on the group.
Right.
But I would like to run some rocks through. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. All right, let's switch gears now to gold prospecting. I know you're hitting the fields a lot. Do you have any other gold mining equipment aside from your detector, like high banks or sluice boxes or pans or?
I got a pan. Got a pan.
Yep.
It's down to the basics. That's the nice thing about the Deus. It does have the prospecting mode, and
right.
I have kicked it over there a few times. I was at one of the larger lakes where I got an actual pocket knife spill. Weirdest thing ever. But I found a pocket of black sand just on the side of the bank, and I didn't have anything with me at the time, but if I had a bag, I would have been
scooping it up,
stuff home, and storing along the pan and just panning it at the house. But I was surprised. That stuff rang up really good.
Have you ever tried picking up some of the gold concentrates on eBay and actually trying the pan?
No, I have not.
Let me tell you, that's a blast. I've done it. And once you start seeing that color in the pan, I understand where gold fever comes from. Let me tell you, it's
Well,
it's a trip. Definitely
there's
worth trying.
there's actually places pretty close to us up by a town called Nevada City, town called well, Grass Valley. One of the places I went a few weekends before I went to Korea, it's called Allegheny. It's still still has an operating gold mine out there. But the
Nice.
riverbeds are full of that aggregate and all that concentrate. So all I have to do is just go up there with a shovel and a bucket.
Wow.
But you're talking, it's about a 2-hour drive up some windy roads out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I really can't do that just, hey, I'm going to go up there today because day to day during the week, I got work. Weekends, we normally have plans. So those types of things are few and far between.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Like this weekend, I'm finally going up to a property that's been in the same family for over 100 years. It's had 4 different structures on it in different locations throughout all those years. And a friend of mine knows the owner. We have permission. 7 o'clock Saturday morning, I'm going to be out there sweating my tail off as long as I can until I either dehydrate, die, or whatever.
Right. Right. That leads up to another question. I know you do mainly park hunts, but you really don't get too many regular permissions. Do you have an issue with that at all, or you just don't bother trying?
Part of it is a lot of the houses where I live, they're all brand new subdivisions.
So it's all backfill and everything's going to be too.
And all the older houses, they're all on either the historic register,
Right.
or the owners don't even want you going near it because they have manicured yards. They look beautiful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anyone going out there and chopping holes in my stuff. But
Okay.
anything out here that's over any building that's in the city and the county around it that's over 100 years old it's pretty well protected.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Going to our historical society too, it's pretty much out of the question as well.
Yeah. So when I see that, I don't really want to be that guy to go up there and hey, I just wondering if I could detect your backyard. Now, mind you, if I see one of those older houses and they're ripping out landscaping, my card's going to come out. Hey, how's it going? Turn on the charm. How you doing? And see what I can do. But
right.
until that day comes, I don't really want to bug a homeowner or a property owner on something around here that much because there has been a lot of people who have detected out here. It's the club I'm a part of. They've been around for 30 some odd years.
Wow.
They have tried. They have sought permission. They've tried to do. We're part of this club. We'd like to see if there's anything historical for the museum.
Right.
And they get the big middle finger, and it's so a lot of the people around here are really touchy about detectorists, and I don't know if it's because people have made a bad name for us in the past. Coming in with a backhoe or whatever. Or
right.
in the front yard look like bomb craters.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm new to this business, but there are places that I go that when I get a chance, there's a small little town to the west of us. Nobody there cares, but once again, they're also the type of people, if you show up the front door, you're going to see a shotgun.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
They've a lot of people here in the rural communities and a lot of the people in the older towns, they really value their privacy, and a lot of times it's because normally they're growing something or cooking something in their house too. So that's another thing you got to worry about.
Indeed. Right. Right.
So if
As far as
you
your
don't get too many permissions, a lot of it's because I value my life, and I also don't want to be a
burden for them.
I just saw Sandy's message pop up. I don't want to be a burden on other people. That's the thing. So
It's understandable. Now, how many members do you have in your club?
active members probably 18. Card carrying club members probably about 25, 30. But I'm the youngest guy by 20 years.
Wow. Well,
The next group of people are in their 60s.
do any of those guys offer to take you around, or is it a free for all?
I have there's 3 of a husband and wife and another guy and myself. We tend to go out into the hills and we look for old gold settlements, whatnot, mining
Right.
settlements, mining camps.
Right.
We started doing that earlier this year, but also with the temperatures, it's getting harder to do that.
Yes,
We'll probably
indeed.
start hitting it up a lot more in the fall. But that's where we're going up this weekend. It's two members of the club, or it's a
Awesome.
husband and wife, and they know the person has the land. So we're just hoping for good stuff there.
Right. Right.
Maybe I'll get my first old silver barber or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that's
We'll work on that.
that's right up to my next question is, what is your oldest U.S. coin?
Oldest U.S. coin that I have personally dug. Oh boy, it's over in a jar over there. It's in fact, it's the first day I met somebody from the club I'm part of. That's when I got invited to join. Right after I talked to him, I dug a really, really destroyed 1903 Indian head penny. And that's the oldest U.S. coin I've ever dug.
Right. So you still have yet to break into the 1800s. You need a seated or a bobber.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, foreign coins? Yeah, I got that. I'm good.
I know you do.
I'm
You
good.
got that covered.
Yeah, it's tough to get into the 1800s once you get past, once you get past the West Coast into the past the Gold Rush era. I mean, that was mid 1800s as it went. So it's tough for a guy in that area. Plus all the development and everything like that, like he's talking about. 1800s is tough to break through.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's around me everywhere. I mean, the town of Marysville used to be. It's right across the river from me. That was going to be the capital of California. It was the gateway of the gold fields.
Wow.
Ships would come up through the Sacramento River and offload people right by the old bordello right there, and the ladies, advertising their wares, all right there, and all those areas were turned into a dump. So anything that was coming in on those ships, anything that people were walking through, has 45, 50, 60 years of garbage on top of it.
Jeez.
I have friends that have pulled gold coins out of there. I have friends that have pulled all kinds of really cool things, and I go there. I get a champion spark plug. It's a beautiful spark plug, but
Clean that up and get your lawnmower going.
That's
maybe
right.
it has no threads. They're all eaten off. I mean, maybe in a jumper wire. Who knows?
Yeah, JB Weld.
So there's a lot of frustration that goes along with it. Like where I found that Indian head penny. That area, other than being turned into a pit for a rodeo, which is awesome because they dug all that river silt out for me.
Right.
From it flooding. Now it's a little rodeo pit. Everything looks beautiful. It's still full of all the trash. I mean, it's full of like shredded refrigerators and junk, which
Like
blows my mind. You got horses and stuff running through there. So there's a lot of frustration involved with detecting, and that's part of the area where all the history is at. And I mean, I wish they'd made a 2-inch coil. Let's just put it that way. I want a 2-inch coil that can go down 18 inches, and I just sit there and do this for 6-inch sweeps. I mean, yeah, it'll take me 6 years to do one plot of land, but I bet you I could find some cool stuff because I'll be able to get around all that garbage. But
Right.
or an X-ray. X-ray machine would be good. That would be good.
Yeah, Hawk makes a nice one. It only costs you, $17,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all?
That's it.
I thought there were more.
No, that's the cheap one.
That's the last question for me. Aside from U.S. coinage in Korea and military armaments, any other military U.S. finds like buttons or medals or anything like that over there in Korea?
Not yet. I've not found any insignias, any buttons, any.
Right, something a little more personable.
No, I really would love to find, that personal item that I can try to get back to the family.
Right.
But amazingly, there's not that much where we're at. We were discussing, my friend of mine over there, about that exact topic this last trip. And one of his things he said he would love to do, be part of, is the interment of a reinterment of a lost soldier or something. Just happen of, you're detecting, hey, they're stainless steel, and whoa, those are dog tags, and they're still bones. All right, let me call the authorities.
Right.
But we've yet to do that. We know stories of guys, like entire platoons and battalions, that would, before they'd go and fight the North, they would all remove their wedding bands, cache them all in one place into a canvas sack, bury it like over here, put it in this cave and cover it with rocks or whatever. We would love to be able to find that just so we could turn that back into a museum or turn it into, find out, okay, is there a name in here? Can we get this back to somebody? Hey, do you know who,
Wow.
and work through the process to return all that. And that's scattered throughout the country, but more towards the border and past the border into the north.
Right.
Where
And-
I'm located when I go to Korea is, it's Osan Air Base, which is near Pyeongtaek City, which is about 30 miles from Seoul, which is about an hour and 45 minutes if you're driving. But it's further down south. The airfield that we're at used to be 3 villages, but now it's an airfield. I mean, it's, once again, there you have development. You can't really do much there, but you can't really detect on a base anyhow. So they get kind of not too happy about that. But as far as any U.S. personal items, I've yet to find one.
Well, I hope you do, my friend.
I find lots of Korean personal items, but not U.S. Not U.S.
All right, that's going to pretty much sum it up for me, guys. Utah, right back at you, bud. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, no problem, Al.
Wow, that's a lot of awesome information. Real quick question it's a question from the external from Sandy Blizzard or Pulltad. He asked, how many ball bearings have you found since you switched to your dais?
For people who don't know what he's talking about, I'll be right back. Just give me a second.
In the meantime, check out this message from our sponsor.
Yeah. I wish.
Oh, we don't have a sponsor.
Yeah.
What they're talking about is there is a specific park, I like that, by the way, in my town. I find ball bearings. Lots of ball bearings.
Not your average ball bearings, mind you.
Not your average ball bearings. These are the king of ball bearings. The first time I found one of these guys, this is 2.25 inches or 2.5 inches.
It's like a cannonball.
Wow, that's a cannonball.
That's a grape shot, man.
But it's not. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, some enterprising individual was trying to figure out a tractor that could be used in the silty soil that's down here, and they developed a Caterpillar-style tractor that instead of using rollers or wheels to run the belts, they use ball bearings. It's known as a Yuba ball tractor.
Huh.
Those tractors shed these things like dead skin cells. In the park, there is a line of these going from one end of the park to the other. Like this poor tractor is going back to the barn, and it's its last trip. This one line.
It just wore off the bearing race and dumped them all in one line.
I think I have dug, oh my God, at least 30 or 40 of these at a time over there, and they're heavy. These make your finds pouch really want to fall off.
I'll bet you Thunder Chief could kill you with that.
Thunder Chief, well, I would send these to Thunder Chief if he want them. He can have a pair of ball bearings.
Could you imagine getting those clanging together in your sack when you walk?
Alrighty then.
Alrighty there.
I mean, like a little, like a marble bag.
Yeah.
Just holding it as you walk through the field.
Your finds pouch, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
The coin purse.
I got a question for you, Matt. What's the most unusual item that you found over in Korea?
The most what?
the most unusual item.
Oh God. For me, I'm trying to think. I find some unusual stuff, but oh, I know. It was actually this last trip. I put my Deus on the coil on charge because it was down, and for some reason it decided to completely discharge on me, which was really lovely. Because by the time we got out to the field, I'm like, hey, I got a charge detector. No. So I had to detect with a pinpointer that whole day. It was so much fun. Okay. So we were at this one site. We actually ended up pulling 104 modern Korean coins out of the site, which was about 16,000 some odd won, which is their dollar, which is about $16 in coins. And one of the things we pulled was this. This is what's known as a rattle. To me, it's a bell, but it's a rattle. This is used in shaman-type rituals. This was buried in the ground. Now, my buddy, who's quite superstitious, we actually found 2 of them, by the way.
It buried him intentionally?
It buried intentionally. It was kind of weird.
Oh God, the condition of them are...
What's that?
Fantastic. It's hard to believe that was in the ground.
Yeah, it was very recent when it was buried.
Oh, I understand.
I cleaned off the dirt. Yeah, but it was just really weird. But that's just very unusual. My buddy's wife, his sister-in-law, she's into that whole heebie-jeebie stuff, and he was telling me, yeah, they believe that it depends on what they're using it for. It could be, possessed by a demon, whatnot, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, he said, yeah, see if you can bring it home, show it off, let people know what it is. I'm like, okay.
That's
so
summon demons
they
or
might take it from the customs. What's that?
That's to summon demons or ward them away.
I'm thinking it's more of, well, the funny thing is these bells have little Asian cartoony-looking horses, chickens. There's a duck that looks like Daisy Duck on here.
Basically everything a dragon eats.
Yeah, something like that. So it's kind of interesting, kind of weird. I found, oh yeah, one thing he told me though is like, because he's very paranoid, if anything weird happens in your house, destroy that. Like, okay, I'm just a firm believer. If I don't believe in it, it ain't gonna affect me. I mean, I went through this as a kid because, oh my God, zombies! Oh really? That's not gonna happen. So I'm pretty much a realist.
Miami.
My wife sages the house twice a year to ward evil spirits, and I let her do it. The house stinks for a week, but hey, it makes her happy and keeps the evil spirits away. We haven't had any evil spirits in the house yet, so I mean, it must work.
I grew up when I was going to high school. Going to school, the community I lived in was a real big hippie type community, and there was a lot of incense saging, blessing, peppermint kind of stuff. And you can imagine when I was walking across the stage and said, "Hey, here's Matt. He's joined the Air Force." I was the only person who was booed at his graduation ever. It was great. When I came back, I was talking to one of my teachers, and she said, I'm right out of basic and tech school. She said, would you like to speak to the class? Yeah, I'll speak to your class. And I had a little girl ask me how it felt to be a baby killer. I work on a reconnaissance plane. And let's crash, we ain't killing anyone. I'm telling you. So, I mean, it's. I understand how all that stuff works, and I think some of the people I know from that community would probably freak out if they saw that. Either be like, "Oh, that's so cool," or "Oh my God, we need to put that in a cabinet with some garlic," and
Don't shake that in my direction.
So I think that it was a pretty interesting and weird thing. And
Are you
we
originally
have
from California,
he
man?
has- what's that?
Are you originally from California?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I got you.
Sadly, yes, I am originally from California. My
Hold it against you.
but other strange and wild and wonderful things you find there. I mean, you find a lot of old personal items, and that's what I love about that. I find, like over here, I got a nice little pile of relics that I dug, and I'm kind of just freelancing now with the interview. My buddy and I had just got done hiking up to the spot. It was about 5 kilometers from the car, 600 to 800 meters of elevation. We got to a point, we decided to rest, put our packs down. He says to me, "Hey, I'm going to go walk over the ridgeline a little bit and see what's over there. This looks like a good place where old Adashi, old guy, wanted to stop and, smoke some Dambe or tobacco in Korean. Look around, you might find a pipe." Not 5 minutes later, I found a little bronze brass pipe bowl,
Nice.
still full of tobacco residue
Oh,
that's been
wow.
packed in there. So I see that, knowing how these are made. I wonder where the tip's at, the mouthpiece. Well, here's the mouthpiece.
Wow.
They were sitting in the same, the same orientation about that far apart, so about 12 inches apart.
Huh.
The bamboo that they use in between, there's bits and pieces of it left, like right there,
Oh,
but
wow.
still inside the brass. So he comes back and he asked me if I found anything, and I said, "Well, I'm going to call you the prophet."
Right.
"Oh, don't say that. I know I'm good at finding coins out here." I said, "No. What did you say that I would find up here?" And he said, "You probably found a pipe." I said, "Yeah, I found one here." Handed it to him, and he's like, "I have never found the bowl and the mouthpiece in the same area."
Wow.
So that was another one that he was a little happy for, but a little envious about.
I was just gonna say that.
So what would that have been, like probably a foot long?
Yeah, about 12 inches. Like most cultures, the length of something or the size of something or the flashier of something indicates status.
Yeah.
Doing some research on Koreans and their tobacco smoking, they love doing that for a long time. And one missionary had said, you will find man, woman, and child. They will have a hard time carrying whatever load, but one hand is always free to carry their tobacco pipe.
Wow. So if it was long enough that somebody else had to light it for you, you were pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to reach through the screen so
Yeah.
Jake could for me over there. Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. But they were always, made out of the same material. It's always this bronzy brass stuff. So
Now, opium must be big over there.
not in Korea. It's all
Really?
tobacco. Every farmer has, even to this day, has a little field of tobacco out back.
Wow.
Opium is a predominantly North American kind of thing between the U.S. and Mexico, predominantly. I know they have it in other countries, but for the most part, it was always over here between Mexico and us.
Really, I thought China was huge with the opium. Or was it basically just the Chinese workers?
Probably the Chinese workers over here brought it back, but naturally growing cactus opium was predominantly South America, North America.
Really? See that? Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Hey, Matt, is there a way you can type something in the external so people can sub to your channel if they're not already?
Yeah.
That would be great.
So
and
far,
I do want to give a quick shout out to Miss Sandy of the Passions in the external. Thank you, Sandy, for coming in. I know you're really busy, so
Yeah.
thanks for stopping by.
Tell Tom we said hi, and this one's for him.
Exactly.
yeah. Tell them we're pulling for
My
them.
ginger ale.
Get better, Tom Fu.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it here. Okay.
My boy.
What I know you do a lot of park hunts, just from watching your videos. Is that really the type of place you like to hunt the most, or do you prefer fields or woods, or? I mean, I know you said you have problems with permissions in yards, thanks to the area, but I just wondered what you preferred.
I prefer going out to the hills, and one of the things I like trying to do is trying to find old home sites out, old settlements, whatnot. I do park hunts just to keep my head in it.
Right.
Keep practice, keep listening for tones.
The convenience for you, too.
I'm still having a hard time reading, so, I have to keep reading books. It's just keeping the practice. If I stop and I sit, then I have to relearn what I already learned. So you just keep going with it. It's like with stealth diggers. Charlie goes out, gets his culture. I never called it that before, but I did the same thing. It's like, okay, I know what I'm trying to do here. I know what. Okay, let me set this up a little bit different here. All right, here we go. But I can tell if it's going to be a good hunt or a bad hunt within the first 2 finds. But park hunts are just mainly to keep me active, keep me out there doing it.
Right. Like I said, the convenience too, being that they're all right there in your town. So.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice to a new detectorist or a new younger generation detectorist just starting in the hobby, what would that advice be?
My advice would be learn your machine, listen to it, get to know its language, because it doesn't matter if you got a Garrett, if you got a Mind Lab, if you got a Deus, if you got a Whites, if you got a Tesoro, if you got a Nocta, all those different. It doesn't matter. You learn the machine, you listen to it, you learn its language, and most of all, just have patience. Yep. Because you're going to dig more trash than you're going to dig good stuff. Yep. And just think of it this way. You're digging the trash, you're making the place a better place. You've just cleaned out a whole bunch of junk that somebody else was careless or just didn't care and they left it there. So your karma's clear.
Right on.
Awesome. I see Tom told Sandy to tell everybody hello. That's awesome to see. Can't wait for him to start getting out digging again and making some more instructional videos for me. It's obvious that I need them from him. So,
Matt, one other quick question for you. What would you consider to be one of the best features a detector can have?
That it, like, hypothetically could have?
No, like in general, like the machines that are out now, period. What would one of the better features of a machine be? Would it be depth?
I like is a pinpoint function.
Okay.
That is, I mean, if you got something that puts you in that ballpark of, this big,
right, that
is really nice to have.
Okay. How do you feel about response time? Because the Deus is one of the best on the market.
I mean, if you're just getting into it and you don't want to shell out that much money, I would say Pinpoint. But yeah, response time's great. Yeah. I mean, you can set that to where it's ooh, there's something right there. I just got a grunt and something high. I mean, yeah.
Pinpoint is probably going to be your answer. That's cool.
That would be my primary thing. I mean, it helps you out so much when you're first starting.
Right.
Because I was showing Utah earlier. I started with this big antique.
Oh yeah.
There's no such thing as Pinpoint. There's no such thing as. The only thing that this thing is really good at, well, 2 things. It'll detect everything.
Yep.
From about 30 feet away. I mean, it is powerful.
It is extremely sensitive. You want to know a good trick for that? You want to learn how to pinpoint with that? Lift your coil off the ground, then lower back down. As soon as you start getting the beep, that's your Pinpoint.
Yeah.
I had the same machine, or very close to it.
And the other thing it's good at is wrecking your shoulder. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got carpal tunnel on your shoulder, all over it.
Yeah. And I already have Popeye forearms. I don't need any more.
Yeah, but that's not from metal detecting.
Pull tab. Sandy Blizzard wants to know, does your son have any interest in metal detecting?
He'll go out with me, but he gets bored of it pretty quick. He gets pretty bored.
How old is he?
13.
Yeah, mine's 8, and we'll go out metal detecting in the neighbor's yard because they just moved out, and I found some great stuff over there. But it'll be like 10, 15 minutes, and he wants to go ride his bike or go ride his scooter, and
that's what happens. It's all right. This was fun. What else can we do?
It's
yeah,
a hit.
but it gets better each time. Yeah.
Although my son doesn't really enjoy detecting that great, when he does go, he makes some cool finds. It baffles me. He's more of a photographer, really. He's into the pictures.
I've personally watched more younger generations with an Ace 150 or a Fisher F2 or call it a beginner machine, whatever it is, find better stuff than the guys with a $2,500 machine.
Right on.
Simply because if it makes a noise, they dig a hole. They don't care if it's got an iron grunt to it or it's just a nail or whatever. They dig the hole. They don't find everything all at once. It's a can. But you see these kids, these 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids, they dig up this gold religious medallion that makes the papers because they found it. But meanwhile, the last 5 or 10 detectorists that were on that property with their $2,500 machines, they passed it by because they said, my machine says it's a pull tab. I ain't digging it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Dig it all.
They dig it all. Exactly.
That's why I dig all pull tabs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I dig them just to torture them.
Right.
You know that.
The evil one, right, Al?
You got that right, brother.
Yeah, that's the bane of my existence here. That I get fought by the pull tabs and I get fought by the bottle caps. Because on the dais, pull tabs, it's too inviting of a signal. It's you just want to dig it.
Yep.
Bottle caps, I know it's a bottle cap because it gives me a high analog at the same time. So it's this beautiful stereo sound. It's a boom.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is. But every single time I'm thinking, it's probably 2 quarters. It could be 2 quarters.
There you go.
Bottle cap. And every single time, no. It's a bottle cap.
Anybody got any more questions before we wind up the live portion of this?
Did we fill up the clock?
Well, yeah, it's already been an hour, so that's
Oh,
why I
wow.
was going to go ahead and ask it.
I'm actually going to be signing off myself. I have some things I have to do on my new auction site that I'm doing. In case anybody in my group doesn't know about it by now, I'm going to be starting an auction group where people can donate items, either treasure-related or collectible, and we'll auction them off on my new site that I'll be doing. It's going to be exclusively for members of Al's All Metal Detecting. So if you're a member of there, I'm going to send you an invite soon and get you over to the new auction site. August 1st, I'll be launching the site. And so I got some stuff to finish up over there. Matt Fu, it was a pleasure. J-Mo, Redneck Fu, take care of yourselves, all right, guys?
We're having you on here. Thanks for joining us, Al.
Oh,
Yeah.
To
Can I give a
everybody
shout-
out there, if you're not a member of Al's All Metal Detecting on Facebook, you need to be, because it is an amazing group.
Thanks, guys.
I did see a
Thanks
question.
for joining us, Al.
We're still live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First off, I want to, first and foremost, thank Matt. Appreciate you getting on here with us. I appreciate Utah for letting me be on the panel tonight. That was great. I had a good time. It was fun. I'd like to give a shout-out to all of my stealth brothers and sisters out there on the stealth group, of course. And but first and foremost, above all of that, no offense, Matt, I would like to give a shout-out to my buddy Tom, NC Digger. I wish him well, and I wish him the best. And he's going through some stuff right now in his world, and things are looking better and better as the days go on. And everybody out there, if you're religious, send them prayers. If you're not, send them good wishes. And let him beat the demons that have been bestowed upon him without righteousness. And again, Matt, thank you for being on here with us. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I've been waiting a long time to talk to you face to face, man. Appreciate it.
It was great talking to you. It's the same thing. I mean, I've always wanted to chat with you, and I enjoy your videos. I think you're a great guy. All the same stuff that you just said for Tom, and also for Drew. I mean, come on, buddy, pull through it. Hopefully,
Drew's got this. He'll be fine.
Oh,
I know he's practiced, but we don't need him doing this kind of stuff to us.
exactly.
But I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, especially Utah, for inviting me on here. It's an honor. I have never really done anything like this before, and I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Trust me, the honor is all mine. This is great. I mean, it seems like every week now I get to make another check off a bucket list is what it feels like, because I keep having great guys on that are just amazing. Yeah, and to what J-Mo said about NC Digger, it's just a flat-out straight ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto. Can't wait till he gets back making videos again. Everybody out there, thanks for joining us. I do want to give 2 quick channel shout-outs. One of them is to American Coin Hunting, Dave over there. Check out his channel and his videos if you haven't already. Great videos that he does, and he also does active subscriber participation giveaways every month. So check out his videos, subscribe him, like him, comment on his videos, and get in on his amazing giveaways. The other one I want to give a shout out to real quick is the Delaware Digger.
Terry.
Looks like next week Delaware Digger is going to be our guest. So everybody can get your questions ready for him. Check out his channel, watch his videos, so you can get ready to ask questions in the external for him. And Matt, again, extremely honor of mine to have you on here. It was great. J-Mo, thanks again for joining us on the panel this week after just being on. I know you're really busy with everything you have going on as well, and I do appreciate you guys' time. Anyway, other than that, you guys have a good one, and we'll I am going to do this, but I just want to let everybody know, watch some of the newer videos of some of Tom's real big followers that they put out lately, and maybe you'll catch on to it, but on to why we're doing this at the end of everything. But until next time, everybody, dig on.
Swing, beep, dig.